Hello, everyone, and welcome to the All Four Downs podcast featuring the Four Downs, Three Counts production. I am Ovi1, your host, and we're entering week 4 of the college football season. And already things are ramping up with a lot of chaos when it comes to coaches, maybe a certain player, but also questioning, as always, the top 25 rankings. And I tell you what, last week I had one of the most fabulous week of my picks, and I am so excited to not only introducing week 4, but to do a recap of week 3 of my predictions and how I went 6 for 6. That's right. I'm impressed, and I'm hoping that I can continue with this week's picks. And it's a lot. I know. It's like, wow. I wish I could do this in the NFL picks, but in college football, I'm doing well. Yeah. But anyways, I'm loving it, and it leads me to first down because I'm gonna start right away, man. There's a lot to talk about. Not only besides the top 25 and then my picks, of course. I'm gonna give you my picks for this week, but also some updated news and everything else. So let's get started with our last week's recap. Let's go. Is Georgia versus Tennessee. Georgia has a better defense, but Tennessee will test them early. Still, I'm taking the Georgia Bulldogs to pull away late.
McCray driving, reaching for the end zone.
It's a touchdown. Yeah, that's a win.
Ball broke the plane.
Game.
Clemson at 9.5. I mean, the way I've been seeing Clemson play football, I think 9.5 is too much. I'm not trusting Clemson in that spread, and therefore I am choosing Georgia Tech at plus 9.5.
The snap is off. It is on the way. It's got the distance.
Miami's rolling, and they're doing a lot better last year, the year before. They got the right man behind, taking the snap, and it's that Carson Beck guy.
They're going to throw it. And it is a touchdown.
Ole Miss should take this convincingly and win.
They're going to throw it here out in space on the screen to Jaylen Brown. And he's wrapped up, fumble the ball, and it's recovered by Ole Miss. A turnover by Arkansas.
LSU is going to win big over Florida.
Narrative after that loss last week. Lagway running for his life. Oh my goodness, it's pick number 5.
I am taking Texas A&M plus 6.5. It's going to be an upset.
Reed, rush comes. Reed pumps, fires. It is caught. Nate Borgacher brings it in and ties the game.
Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful week that is. Going for 6 for 6. And hopefully, this time I'm pushing a little bit for 7 for 7. That is my goal, but I'll let you know on my picks coming up on fourth down. But let's move on to second down because we got some news here, right? And it's the top 25. But in order to focus more, I narrowed it down to the top 10. Okay. And if you want to tune in to my top 25, you can listen. You could go and visit on the website, 4downs3counts.com, and you can see my top 25 versus the AP and coaches poll. But let's look at here is because the way the volume of that game between Georgia and Tennessee, that game on both sides of the ball, their offense was awesome. One of the best games in college football. Yeah, we could go ahead and critique about the defense, why they scored so many points or allowed so many points. But the thing is that both teams, it was like a heavyweight match, okay? And nobody quit. They all had resilience. Now, there was some mishaps at the end for Tennessee, right? But it's part of the game. It's part of the game. And when you make a mistake, you allow like a team like Georgia to catch up and make a big difference. And they did. and they pounced and they won in overtime. Georgia, all right. And again, yes, Tennessee had a chance to put Georgia away with a game-winning field goal at the end of regulation, but that didn't happen. They missed. Okay. Yeah, they scored a field goal, but at the end, Georgia ran it right through them. The running game for Georgia is awesome. And then people question about uh, Gunnar Stockton about his play as a quarterback throwing the ball. They answer a lot of questions. He's capable of doing it, and he was accurate. So give it up to Georgia Bulldogs. Oregon went down one, and then I got Ohio State. But if you look at the AP and coaches poll, sometimes I am left scratching my head, okay, because the fact that Ohio State, both AP and coaches poll have them at number one, but do they really deserve to be number one? And I'm only saying that because the only top game they had was Texas, and yet Texas doesn't look like a caliber team, right? They're not blowing opponents away. They're mediocre right now. And yet I do believe that Texas, AP and coaches poll had Texas overrated. And you look at it right now, look, the coaches poll have them at 7, and the AP poll have number 8. Trying to validate that, yeah, like you're giving chances, but why are you giving chances? Why are you giving credit for teams that are not really producing? Yeah, they win, but how are they winning? That is the difference. Penn State still playing garbage teams, and yet we have to wait for another week to then see Penn State play Oregon. And yet Penn State's going to have a bye week while Oregon's playing Oregon State. And again, it's like you're giving them an opportunity to overlook and everything else. I'm telling you right now, this is the season when we have to question about how the AP and coaches poll are handling their business. It's just another reason why we have a college football committee. It really is. So again, I'm questioning on Penn State as well, right? Who are they competing? Got to wait for another week until finally they get to play in their own conference against Oregon. Yeah. LSU is number 3 in the AP poll, but yet the coaches poll have Georgia at number 3. All right. And I'm also left with the question as, do they deserve to be in the top 5? Yes, they won their game. Yes, they're 3-0, right? But defeating Clemson, did that count? Looking at the performance that they did, yeah, the defense got interceptions, but it was DJ Lagway that was creating errors. Like I do feel like Florida actually beat themselves in that game, not so much looking at LSU. And if you take away and eliminate the turnovers that Florida did, take away those 5 interceptions, if DJ Lagway was actually disciplined enough, could we have seen Florida beat LSU? I believe that they could. They could have. It didn't happen, but hey, it is what it is. The final score is 20-10. And if you're throwing 5 interceptions, you would think that you will win big. And it didn't happen. Questioning on the run game, questioning on what happens, right? And then there's that discipline issues where every time they got the flow going, there's always a penalty of something. All right. So I'm just saying, Georgia and Miami seems likely to be the 2 solid teams right now. Maybe I could add Florida State to it because they turned things around, only winning 2 games. Now they looking like they're one of the top dogs in the ACC. Okay. So the other question I have for you is Notre Dame. Now, Clemson's out of the top 25, but why not Notre Dame? Because they lost 2 ranked opponents. They still lost. And at this point, anyone with a losing record should not be in the top 25. You're 0-2. You cannot be in the top 25. So why are we keeping Notre Dame there? If Notre Dame's there, why not just keep Clemson there? They're in the same boat. They lost to ranked teams, but yet they're out. So why not Notre Dame? Notre Dame's schedule is really, really easy from here on out. So to try to attempt to put them in there at the very end of the season, I just don't like it. It's not fair. It's just not fair, especially the other schools that are undefeated and not listed in the top 25. I think we need to look at that very carefully. And I hope the college football committee is also paying attention. Moving on to third down, some updated news. We have Virginia Tech head coach Brent Pryor got fired after starting 0-3. UCLA fired Deshaun Foster, who also started at 0-3. They just look debacle. They don't look right. They can't win, and they need change. And especially when you are in the new era of the NIL deal, right? And you're investing more money to these players, you would think that you are looking for productivity and have some winning season. But how long can they wait? They're not waiting any long. And I won't be surprised if more coaches get the pink slip this week. Absolutely. Could Colorado, Deion Sanders be on the hot seat? They look terrible. They do. Okay. But there's some other how you say it, other coaches that I think now we're gonna see more coaches be on the hot seat because of this new era. Honestly. But the one that we need to slow down on is no other than Arch Manning. At the beginning, everyone was rewarding Arch Manning. Matter of fact, as soon as Arch Manning was picked Texas, he was supposed to be the next big thing. And turned out to be just like anybody else. You just got to perform and learn your role. And that's what he's doing. I don't know if he's actually injured. I don't know what's up with this guy. But the hype of him at the beginning to be the Heisman winner for this season, that went out the window. And so if you went on DraftKings or any other sporting bet websites to choose Arch Manning to win the Heisman, you're mistaken. You just lost your money because he's not going to win. Better yet, I don't even think he's going to be one of the finalists. Let's just be real. Okay. But at the same time, he is the student of the game, and that's why he's playing. And it's sad that his own people, the crowd, are booing the Texas Longhorns because they expect higher, right? They expect a lot out of him. They expect a lot of that offense too. They got one more, I can't call it a scrimmage, but one more jobber match because they play Sam Houston, and then they begin the SEC showdown. And will they be ready for the SEC going on their second year? Let's move on to fourth down with my picks. Here we go. And I'm going to start off right now with Michigan and Nebraska. Oh, yeah. Michigan's on a 4-game winning streak against Nebraska. The last time they played was 2023, and they're on the road. But yet they're only favored for 2.5 points, Michigan. And they're going on the road without their head coach. The over-under is 45.5. But the way things going, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a high-score game. Right. And it seems like that is the momentum going into this week, because if you pay attention to last week, a lot of games went over. So if you're one of those guys to go over under, I think 45.5 is pretty darn good for you to go over. Just saying. I think and I feel like that is the pick for this game. But when I go for an actual winner, I'm going to take Michigan in this. I really do. I think the players are responding to their assistant coach. They're paying attention, and no disrespect to Nebraska, but yeah, they got a great start at 3-0. But you're now about to start your Big Ten matchups, okay? And Michigan, I think they're more prepared because they lost a ranked opponent, right? Nebraska had an easy way of getting them 3 wins. So if you're going to hit them hard, and I'm going for the Michigan Wolverines to take over and knock out Nebraska, put them back in reality there. All right. Moving on to Texas Tech and Utah. I feel like this is the game of the week because a lot of hype goes to Texas Tech in the beginning. So if anyone is happy about this, the prediction of Texas Tech trying to represent the Big 12, I believe that will happen. I do believe that they'll give Utah their first loss I'm picking the Texas Tech Red Raiders to defeat the Utah Utes. And besides, Utah has never defeated Texas Tech. They're 0-2. And I got it that they played twice in the 70s. But let's fast forward. Texas Tech, they got some good people there, man. They got a great offense. And even though Utah's favored at 3.5, this is the season where a lot of underdogs are actually winning. So I'm gonna give props to Texas Tech on this. I do believe that Texas Tech will win by at least one touchdown. Moving on to the next game, another game that was scratching my head of like, who should I pick, man? Auburn versus Oklahoma. Being that is in Oklahoma and being that I do like the Oklahoma's defense, I do believe that Oklahoma will slightly win over Auburn. Now I'm questioning on that 6.5 because I think it's a little steep. And I do believe that maybe if Oklahoma wins, that they win by a field goal, which benefits Auburn for the spread. So pay close attention to that. And being that the total points are averaging 47.5, they're predicting a low score game. Will it be? I don't know. But Oklahoma's 3-0 against Auburn. It might make it 4. All right. Moving on to Tulane versus Ole Miss. I like this game. I really do. I like it. The 3-0. Tulane representing the American Conference. Ole Miss, the SEC. But Ole Miss, I feel like it's too much. And I think they will cover the spread at 11.5. So I'm taking Ole Miss to win it. Florida versus Miami. I was anticipating that this showdown would have been one of the top games because this is for the Florida Cup, but I just got a feeling this is going to be a one-sided game. Or is it? Miami's offense is explosive under Carson Beck, who I do believe will win the Heisman this year. However, will the defense represent? Will Miami's defense play from start to finish? I got a feeling they're going to give opportunities for Florida, but it all depends on DJ Lagway if he doesn't show up in this game and avoid making careless decisions and turning over the ball. The total points is 51.5. I am taking the over in this game, but if I'm taking my pick is Miami will guarantee beat Florida. Illinois versus Indiana. Ooh, man, I love this game. This could have a potential playoff game. I'm liking this, but somebody has to win. And in this season, just like I make a pick a couple of picks ago here, right? I'm gonna go for the underdog in this one. I am going to rank number 19 Indiana to defeat Illinois. The game is at Indiana. They got home field advantage, and yet the spread is 5.5. They can't make up the difference. Okay. I do believe that Indiana could pull it off. And being that they got eliminated in the playoffs last year, right? I got a feeling they're going to make it happen. And with Illinois, I remember Illinois' head coach had some words to say about South Carolina when they played that bowl game and Illinois won. That coach looked like he was a bully. I don't like bullies. I really don't. But I'm taking Indiana to shut them down. Does Illinois belong in the top 10? Ooh-wee. I don't think so. Come on, Indiana. Make it happen. Gotta love it. All right, Michigan State versus USC. I'm taking USC. I know 18.5 is a spread in favor of USC, but I better be careful. I do believe that 18.5 is too big for USC. I do pick USC to win this game, but I don't know. I don't feel comfortable choosing USC at 18.5 against a team like Michigan State, who there are a bunch of fighters over there. All right. Those Spartans, they know what's up. All right. So I'm taking USC for the win, but just be careful with that spread. I think that 18.5 looks good on Michigan State right now. And lastly, SMU versus TCU. This is a rivalry. Yes. A rivalry. The winner receives an iron skillet as a trophy. This is pretty cool. I like it. TCU manhandled North Carolina when, of course, All North Carolina is full of transfer portals. First game of the season for North Carolina. They spoiled it for Bill Belichick. I got it. All right. Um, but they look solid, man. On only 2 games they played, but they look great. SMU does not look like the same SMU as last season. And therefore, I am taking TCU to defeat SMU and go get that iron skillet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo woo. Final whistle now. And it's it. That is a wrap. I already talked to you about the top 25, my picks, 7 picks. Let's see if I go 7 for 7. And you've seen the highlights. You already know that more is to come this week. How many more upsets can happen this week? I got a feeling it's going to be much, much more. Oh, yeah. I'm loving it. Are you loving it? 4downs3counts.com. Go ahead, check out the website, or you can follow me on Facebook or on YouTube. It's all 4 Downs Podcast. I'm Obi-Wan. Thank you for listening in. I'll be back next week. And I know it's a little bit late right now, but we're getting there. All right. With the scheduling and everything else, man. Like I said, it's dude, you gotta love some football, baby. You gotta love it. I'm loving it. You loving it. Everybody loving it. It's where it's at, man. Stay tuned this Thursday, though, as I go live with Hector V to discuss our NFL picks, our top 6 games, and everything else. Because we're riding high, man. Making some money. Yeah, it is what it is. See my shirt? Gotta love it. It's Puerto Rican shirt. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, so I got to represent every day with a different culture here. Represent that Hispanos, because, you know, we made a lot of history here in America. Why not recognize our Hispanic heritage? Thank you for watching, everyone. Take care. Be safe. Until Thursday for the NFL picks and next week's college picks. Whoo, plenty of football to talk about. Take care, everyone.